Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke. If you've never been here before, hi, welcome. I do a lot of pregnancy updates and things like that on this channel, but I also do ASMR videos. So if you're into either of those, then you should probably subscribe or at least look around in the description box because I link several really good videos that I think that you're bound to enjoy at least one of them. But yeah, so let's just get right into this video. I am 33 weeks pregnant. I'm almost 34 weeks pregnant now filming this video, which means I've got about 6 weeks and a couple of days left of being pregnant, essentially. I mean, of course, it could go longer than my expected due date, which is February 24th, but if all goes to plan, then she will be here within the next 7 weeks, for sure. So, I've got baby girl Rose in my belly, and she is, oh, too bright, she is loving it in there. I mean, sometimes I think she feels a little crowded, like when I am in the fetal position and I kind of like curl my knees up. She's like, hey, listen, I don't have a lot of room as it is, like, can you move? She kicks me all the time. 24/7. I have started timing her kicks because I've heard that it's actually pretty important to do so, just to make sure that she's, you know, growing the way that she's supposed to, that she's developing at the rate that they want her to. And they tell me that she should kick 10 times in a 2-hour period, at least 10 times in a 2-hour period. So if it took me longer than that to get 10 kicks, probably something to bring up to my doctor, maybe even to go in for an extra appointment. But right now she's hitting her 10 kicks, depending on what time of the day I do it, in like 4 minutes. So we are good to go there. Very active baby. I don't know how big she is because at this point in pregnancy, babies start to vary a lot in size. And so they can give you like an estimate in your baby app, depending on which one you use, of like, a baby is about the size of a head of cauliflower, about 4.5 pounds, but really at this point, babies start to vary so much that it's really hard to tell. And I've only gotten 2 ultrasounds. One wasn't even really a real ultrasound. It was just a practice one that I volunteered for to help the midwives at my birth center kind of learn how to use the technology, and that was at 12 weeks. And then I got my 20-week ultrasound, which the doctor came in, looked at everything super up close, made sure there weren't any holes where there weren't supposed to be any, made sure everything was looking exactly the way it was supposed to. And that's the only ultrasound I'm going to get. So I'm not going to know how big she is or have any clue how big she is until she's born, which is kind of exciting. And yeah, all I know is that my midwives say that she is exactly where she's supposed to be. She's exactly where they're expecting her to be at this point in pregnancy, that she's not like super small or super big. She's just very average. And that's all I know so far. I do know that she has rotated to the birthing position. Her head is down and her butt is up. Her butt, I'll just give you the bump shot now. Normally I wait till the end, but her butt is right up here and her head is down here. So she is vertical, she's head down in the birthing position. Let me move my chair so I can give you guys a little view. That is my bump. I hope you can see it. See it okay? But yeah, from the front and from the side. There. There she is. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, so that's that. She is head down, which is totally normal. It's exactly what she's supposed to be doing. That's not like a, oh my God, already? She's in the birthing position already? What are you talking about? It's very normal. So yes, what else? I still haven't had any cravings. I still haven't had any nausea. I still haven't had anything to complain about at all. This has been the best pregnancy I ever could have imagined. And I look back on how I was feeling in the first trimester and half of the second trimester, where I was just so miserable because I was exhausted. I couldn't do anything because I was just so tired. And worst of all was that I was so hungry, but I couldn't eat because I wasn't hungry. It was the weirdest thing. It was like I would be starving because I hadn't eaten all day, and it was 6 p.m. and I would be like, okay, I've got to force myself to eat. I've got to force myself to eat. So I would have one bite of food and literally feel so stuffed and full that I couldn't eat a single bite more. And it was the most bizarre thing, and it ended up making me lose 17 pounds in the first 17-ish weeks. And then after that, I wasn't gaining any more weight, but I wasn't losing any more weight. I started gaining weight probably around the 26-week mark, I think. Go back in my videos and let me know if I'm lying. I'm not sure. But I did end up starting to gain some more weight back, but I'm still, at this point, almost 34 weeks, I'm still down between 2 to 3 pounds from my pre-pregnancy weight. So I still have not gained all of those 17 pounds back yet. I started this pregnancy at 161.2 pounds, and now I'm at 159.2 pounds as of this morning. But I'm a little constipated. I mean, I'm constipated for a vegan, meaning I haven't pooped like 5 times a day, because normally, I don't know if all vegans are like this, but I think a lot of them are. We normally poop like 3 times a day is a low day, and then like 5 or 6 times a day is like a high day. So like between 4 and 5 times a day is how many times I normally poop when I'm not pregnant. But these past couple weeks, it's been like really rock hard to push out. Sorry if this is TMI, but you're watching a pregnancy update video. This is like all TMI. So, yeah, it's like really difficult and hard to poop. And when it does come out, it's literally like tiny pebbles, like this big. And it's just like, what the like, this is what was hurting me so badly, was these little pebble poops. But yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm trying to just keep up with it by drinking a ton of water. I eat a lot of fiber because I'm a vegan, and I have also been making sure to keep up with my probiotics as well, which I've been forgetting because I'm a little forgetful because I'm pregnant. I do burp a lot and just have like a lot of weird sounds come out of my throat, which that's been going on my entire pregnancy, I swear. Sorry. Anyway, I've been drinking so much water the last few weeks, more water than I've ever drank during my pregnancy so far. I drink so much. Like one of these at least, I don't even know, like every hour and a half. I drink a lot of water. A lot. Like I drink so much water that you would probably hear it and be like, oh my God, is that safe? I haven't measured it, but it's a lot. And I used to drink a lot of water before I was pregnant, and this is just something else. And what I'll normally do is go to bed with one of these full, and then I usually get up to pee every hour or two. I get up to pee in the middle of the night, and I'll come back to the bed and I'll be so thirsty, so I'll chug a bunch of water, go back to bed, wake up, pee, chug a bunch of water, go back to bed. And so that entire thing will be empty by the time I wake up in the morning. So I've really been making sure to stay hydrated, which has probably helped me not to get puffy or bloated at all. My ankles and my wrists and stuff, well, I notice that they're definitely puffier than normal. Nobody else would, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely helped me to keep my circulation normal, and my just everything is pretty regular, which is very nice. And yeah, except my poop, which I still poop every day, like multiple times a day. It's just not very much, and it just sucks. So yeah, but anyway, other than that, I'm like regular. And let's see. My boobs are definitely a part of me that I'm not very thrilled with right now. I haven't been for a while. They grew just massive. They were massive for me in the first trimester, second trimester. Then in the third trimester, they just kind of deflated. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. They just kind of like deflated, and that sucked because I already have like, I'd show you here. I don't know if you'll be able to see. No, you probably won't be able to see, but I have stretch marks completely on my entire boob, on both boobs. And so I got those stretch marks from my boobs growing so fast. And now they're like not even that big anymore. And so the stretch marks are still there. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem fair. My nipples, massive. You guys, my areolas are so much bigger than they used to be. Like, so much bigger, and they're darker, and it's weird, and now I've got like these dark freckles on my nipples. It's just like the weirdest thing, you guys. And I've heard that the color goes back to normal, but the size, the jury's still out. So yeah, but again, that's a very normal thing. It happens to almost everybody for them to get bigger and for them to darken, and it does, like, the body does that naturally so that the baby sees your nipple as like a target, you know, because that's what they're looking for when they first come out of the womb. Their vision is not great. They've been staring into your dark uterus for the past 9 months, so it's like they need like a big target to see, a big dark target, so that they can eat. So that's that. I've gone to a couple of classes. I went to a prenatal yoga class. I went to, yesterday, CJ and I together, we attended how to prepare for an unmedicated birth class, and that was really interesting. And tonight we're going to a breastfeeding class, which will also be very interesting because I don't know if I've talked much about it on this channel, but I would like to exclusively pump. If at all possible, I would like to exclusively pump. I don't want to do formula feeding if I can help it, just because I figure, number one, it's cheap. Like, the milk comes from me. There's, you know, I don't have to pay for it, whereas formula you have to pay for. And also it is healthier for the baby if you can possibly do that. And if you can't do it, there's absolutely no reason to feel guilty or ashamed that you can't breastfeed, because formula is just as good. Let's be honest, maybe even better, because it's a balanced formula, but it's just more natural. You know what I mean? More natural to get it straight from the source. So that's why I say that it's healthier. So I would ideally like to do that. And yeah, it's got like all those immunity benefits and stuff. So I would like to use breast milk and breastfeed, but not nipple to mouth, not breast to mouth. You know what I'm saying? I just want to do it through bottles. Ideally, it's my preference, but I am going to this breastfeeding class just so I can learn more about it. And, you know, you never know. I might change my mind, and I want to be as informed as possible. So we're going to that class. And then after that, we do have a couple of other classes. Let me see here if I can tell you what other classes we have going on. We have a class coming up next week where we're preparing how to prepare for labor and delivery, which will be super fun. I'm really excited for that class. And then we have a postpartum care class. So that one, CJ will be out of town and I'll have to attend it by myself. And then we have a newborn class, how to care for a newborn, and then an early home care class that we have to take with my birth center that I'm going to. We have to take that test. I'm sorry, not test, class. Sorry, I have... Okay, let's see, what else? I've really been struggling hardcore, just horribly struggling with mood swings and sadness and irritability and frustration. And I talked to my therapist about it yesterday because I was just like, I am so frustrated and just pissed all the time. And like, when I'm not pissed and frustrated, I'm just so blah. And she was like, what does blah mean to you? Hands me the feeling wheel. If you haven't ever used a feeling wheel, it's very helpful. But you look at the feeling wheel and it's basically all of these real emotions instead of just being like, I feel good today. What does good mean to you? And then you can look in like the happy section and it'll be like happy, and then it'll branch off and it'll be like excited, joyful, just whatever, like real emotions. So yeah, when she was like, what does blah mean to you? And it was so hard for me to find an emotion on the feeling wheel that matched what I was feeling. And I couldn't find one in the end. What I could find is the opposite of one. I found overwhelmed on the chart. And I told her I just feel so underwhelmed all the time. Like, just underwhelmed about everything. Where instead of being like, oh, this is so great, I'm like, woo, and things that I feel like I should be more happy about or more sad about or more nervous about, I'm just kind of like blah. And then when I'm not blah, I'm just so angry. And she said that it's definitely, probably, most likely related to the pregnancy and just my changing hormones and different things like that, and that it's really nothing that I can do very much about at this point, but just to keep an eye on it. And then maybe after the pregnancy, if I am still feeling this way, then to look into it. Because I told her, I was like, it sounds like I'm depressed, but I swear I'm not depressed. I just don't feel very much these days unless I'm really angry. And that's been pretty hard to deal with. That's why I haven't filmed very many videos for this new year yet, because I haven't been on very much lately, and yeah, it's been a bummer. It really has. And yeah, not fun to deal with, that's for sure. But I am really excited to have this baby and to have her here. I hope she takes her sweet time. I've read that first-time moms that are super low risk in their pregnancies, they tend to go to 41 weeks, and that's when they, on average, have their babies. But as you know, and I know so many first-time moms who had low-risk pregnancies who gave birth at 36 weeks, 35 or 38 weeks, 39 weeks, like really early, or completely on time. So you never really know. There's no way to predict when you're going to have a baby, but that is the tea there. I think that she'll come late, but honestly, I have no idea. But what I've really been kind of getting overwhelmed with is thinking about how one day next month, my life, I'm gonna, ideally, if it doesn't happen like in the middle of the night or whatever, I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm gonna eat my breakfast, it's gonna be a totally normal day, and everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna let my dog outside to go to the bathroom, and then at some point, I'm gonna go into labor, I'm gonna have the baby, and my life is just going to be completely different forever. And that has really been something that I've thought about a lot. Like 1 minute, my dog is snoring, having a nightmare. But 1 minute, my life's gonna be normal, and then the next minute, it's gonna be like, holy shit, it's go time. We're gonna have a baby. And I've been dealing with a lot of things that I'm gonna make a separate video about immediately after this video, immediately after filming this video, but I don't want to include it in this one just because it's not part of my update. It's just, there. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It's just going to be talking a little bit more in depth about my mental struggles that I've been dealing with lately and kind of mourning the loss of my old life and how that's kind of made me feel guilty and, whatever. But anyway, I'm just going to end this video here. I'm going to cut it off because otherwise I'm going to be a chatterbox and I'm just going to keep talking and not shut up. So yeah, those are all of the updates. I've been so blessed with just a very normal pregnancy. A lot of people commenting on my size and being like, oh my God, you're so small. Oh my God, are you supposed to be that tiny? And people telling me that I should be bigger than I am, but I keep telling them, it's just the way that she's positioned. It's just the luck of the draw, and I lost so much weight in the beginning that I'm still just gaining it back. So, yeah, that's just how it is. It's definitely been interesting, like having people comment on how small I am, because on one hand I want to be like, ooh, thank you, that's so nice, and then on the other hand I'm like, well, that kind of makes me worry that I'm doing something wrong, you know, and I'm not, and I know that I'm not, and my midwives and everybody tells me that I'm exactly where they want me to be and perfectly on track. And so when people do comment stuff like that, it kind of like makes me think, would you comment, oh my God, you're a whale, you're so huge, like I've never seen somebody who's that big. Like, no, you would never say that. And or maybe you would, I don't know, but it's just, it's not I don't know, it's not mean by any means to say like, wow, you're so small, but it's definitely something that I wish I didn't hear all the time. I am grateful for it though, because it's gonna be so much easier. Right now, if I keep gaining weight the way I have been, I will weigh less after I give birth than I did before I got pregnant. So like I am so grateful for that every single day, and I am grateful for just how this baby has been treating me, because I still, like, I don't have trouble sleeping right now. I wake up all the time to pee, but other than that, like, I sleep great. I can still sleep on my stomach, and I do every night. And from what I've read and from what I've heard, that's not unhealthy. They say like, oh, you shouldn't sleep on your stomach, or you shouldn't sleep on your stomach in your second or third trimester. But I've also read that your body will naturally know when you shouldn't sleep on your stomach anymore. Like, you know what I mean? And you tend to not sleep on your stomach because it's so uncomfortable, because your belly is so big that you know, like you'll lay on your stomach and you'll be like, oh my God, like I can't lay like this, because your stomach will be so huge, and mine is not. So I can still sleep on my stomach. I have my one leg propped up and I'm kind of like tilted to the side, but like, anyway, it's how I've always slept. So I'm still so comfortable. And yeah, I'm not extremely hungry. I'm not starving and not able to eat like I used to be. I'm not throwing up. I'm not sick. I don't have headaches. I'm just very, very normal. And it's so wonderful to me that that's happening, because I know so many women who that doesn't happen to. But anyway, all of that being said, I am going to cut this video off here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you were like me during your pregnancy and you ended up smaller than you were before you got pregnant, or maybe if you just had like a really easy going, simple pregnancy and nothing really went wrong and you were like super lucky like me. Or on the other side of the spectrum, let me know if your pregnancy was the frickin' worst, because I think that all experiences are extremely like valid, obviously, and it doesn't make anybody better than anybody else. And it doesn't, just because somebody had a really hard pregnancy doesn't mean that they did something, what do I want to say? And please let me know in the comments down below what your pregnancy experience was like. Was it super easy? Was it really difficult? I've heard both sides of the spectrum, so I really would be curious to see what your pregnancy was like. Or if you have not had a baby, but you know somebody who had an experience, please write that in the comments below too. I just think it's really interesting to hear other people's experiences with the same thing that I'm going through. So yes, that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Please keep an eye out for that. It'll be a good one, I hope, for you guys. And I will see you there. Bye.